My father, who disowned me for refusing to study medicine, demanded I give half my restaurant to his precious daughter after it got a Michelin star. My father threw me out when I was 19 because I wanted to be a chef instead of a doctor, called me a disappointment, a waste of his genes, said no child of his would work in kitchens like a servant. I'll never forget standing on the porch with my knife roll and 2 bags while he told the neighbors I was dead to him. He actually held a funeral for me, told his colleagues at the hospital his son had died, rather than admit I was in culinary school. My mother tried to sneak me money, but he monitored her accounts, threatened divorce if she contacted me. Meanwhile, he poured everything into my half-sister Sarah, his miracle child from his second marriage who was going to be the surgeon he always wanted. I slept in my car for 3 months, worked every kitchen job I could find, dishwasher, prep cook, anything that paid cash, learned from chefs who didn't care about my last name, only how fast I could work, saved every penny for 10 years, finally opened a tiny place in an old pharmacy, 12 tables and a kitchen the size of a closet. I cooked everything myself, waited tables between courses, mopped floors at 3 in the morning. Word spread slowly, food critics started coming. The waiting list grew to weeks, then months. After 5 years, I moved to a bigger space, hired staff, built something real. Last year, we got the call, Michelin star, youngest chef in the state to earn one. The Times did a front page story. I found out later my father had the article on his desk at the hospital, never mentioned I was his son. Sarah was in her residency by then, the perfect daughter living out his dream. Last month he showed up during lunch service. First time I'd seen him in 15 years. He walked through my dining room in his white coat like he was inspecting a patient, sat at the bar without a reservation. When I came out of the kitchen, he didn't apologize or congratulate me. He said Sarah needed help. She'd failed her boards twice, was about to lose her residency. The stress was killing her. She needed a break from medicine. He decided she should have half my restaurant, just like that. Said she could manage the business side while pursuing her true passion for wellness. I asked if he was joking. He pulled out papers his lawyer had drafted, transfer of ownership documents. Told me Sarah deserved this after all her hard work, that I'd gotten lucky while she'd actually studied. The restaurant was successful enough to support both of us. Besides, he said, you owe the family for all the disappointment you caused. He started his campaign immediately, came to the restaurant every other night with different hospital board members, introducing Sarah as the future co-owner. She'd never worked a day in food service, but was already redesigning my menu to include healing foods and chakra-aligned ingredients. My father told my investors I was bringing in family to stabilize operations, that Sarah's medical background would add credibility to our health standards. She showed up one morning with fabric samples to redo the dining room and calming medical office blues and whites. Started telling my sous chef about proper nutrition, explaining that classical French techniques were outdated. My pastry chef found her in the kitchen at 5 a.m., throwing out our butter because she'd read about the dangers of saturated fat. I had my lawyer send them a formal refusal. My father responded by calling my mother, telling her I was destroying the family again. She called me crying, begging me to just give Sarah something small. He'd convinced her Sarah was suicidal over her medical career failing. I knew it was manipulation, but hearing my mother sob after 15 years broke something in me. This morning I invited them both to the restaurant before opening. Sarah arrived in designer scrubs she'd never actually worked in. My father in his chief of surgery jacket covered in achievement pins. They sat at table 7, my best 4 top, acting like they'd already won. I brought out 23 dishes, every single thing I'd perfected over 15 years. The sauce that took me 6 months to balance. The dessert that food critics called revolutionary. Sarah took photos for her Instagram, already captioning them with our restaurant. My father nodded like he was grading my work. Then I brought out the final plate, a printed copy of the review that got us our star. At the bottom, I'd added the letter he wrote to my culinary school demanding they reject me, saying I was mentally unstable and would damage their reputation. Sarah grabbed it, read it, looked confused. Dad said you dropped out, she said. I pulled out my phone, played the voicemail he'd left me the day the star was announced. His voice filled the restaurant, saying no achievement would ever make me worthy of being his son, that Sarah was his only real child. She went white, started asking what else he lied about. I told her everything. The funeral he held, the cards he returned, the times he called the health inspector on my first restaurant hoping to shut me down. She turned to him, but he was already standing, face purple with rage. You ungrateful little nobody, he spat. I made you. My DNA is the only reason you can even hold a knife properly. I laughed, actually laughed. Told him DNA didn't teach me to julienne vegetables at 4 in the morning, or survive on 3 hours of sleep for a decade. He stormed toward the door, turned back to Sarah, and ordered her to come. She didn't move. As he left, she asked if she could stay for breakfast. I made her an omelet, the first thing I'd learned to perfect. She ate in silence, then said, he told me you were dead until that article came out. We don't talk now, but she stopped the wellness redesign. My father still tells people his son is dead. He's not wrong.